Hi, I'm Kelly Elsas with IdeateTV. We are at the Dances with Films Festival, and I am sitting with Rachel and Laurel from the movie Good Thoughts. And yeah, thank you guys for taking the time to sit with me.
Thanks for having us.
I was just saying to you guys off camera that I was watching it this morning and it's really good. And do you guys want to talk about like what inspired this, what you hope people take away from this film?
Sure. So the film is about a college student who returns to college after a mental health crisis and has to kind of reintegrate after a lot of her friends have moved on without her.
Yeah.
And she basically finds another group of students who've gone through similar experiences. And I think one of the goals we had with the film was to tell a different kind of mental health story that wasn't sort of dramatizing somebody in crisis, but talking about what happens next and how you move on after you've had an issue and you lack some trust in yourself, and maybe your friends and family don't necessarily understand what you went through. So that was what we were looking at, and I feel like it's a story I haven't seen a lot before.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, if anything, I would love for people to take away from this film that, it's okay to not be okay, as cliche as that sounds, but it really is. Like, you don't need to take on the responsibility of everyone's emotions when you also need to look at yourself and understand what you're going through throughout this process, being in the film as well, just being able to look at the people that you care about and truly check in on them, like have your community, find your community, and also being able to release some of your own anxiety by reaching out to them. Like, it's okay to do that.
Yeah,
I think.
It's funny. I noticed I was going to bring up the word community for my next question because I feel like the new friends that she makes are so major. Like, it's funny, like how she doesn't end up going to, like, she does do therapy and work like that, but she also, I feel like her friends are like, the community can really make a huge difference in people's lives. I felt like it was really important for all of those characters.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Being May at the time, it was definitely important for me to understand my relationships to all of those characters individually, and those friendships, and understand like that it's like May needs so much control, and understanding where their head is at the whole time and not really reflecting on her own state of being.
That's so interesting.
Which is, it's very interesting and complex because it's almost in a way to distract from her own mental issues
Heaviness,
and what she's going through with her family and with school, and taking on all of that stress and then not letting herself release it herself. And but there's so much care there. Like, there's so much wanting to make sure that no one's going through what she's going through.
Yeah.
And so that I think that was the hardest part for me, is just to be in that mental space, but also it's not something that's externally shown. Yeah. Like, no one's moping around saying, pity me, sorry, like I'm sad, help me, which is like the issue with mental health in general, because there's a lot of shame that goes into that, like feeling like there's something wrong with you and everyone's going to judge it. And that's hard to navigate. Especially as a 19-year-old girl going to college. And so that was very important for me with the community that she built, and truly finding moments of love and happiness within that group. And being a teen, but also, discovering who she is in that process.
Yeah, I also thought it was interesting when she like comes back to school, kind of what you were saying. Like, there's a lot of, everyone's making her feel uncomfortable a little bit. Like, not everyone, but like a lot of people are treating her differently, and like it's so not understandable, but I would imagine that like the shame doesn't really help. Like, you know what I
Yes.
mean? Like, and it doesn't really help. Like, I feel like all she wants is to be treated like a normal person.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember there's one scene where she's talking to her mom on the phone, and like her mom's asking her a lot of questions, and it's like, it's fine. She's just feeling a little heavy about it. And then her dad's like, oh, do you want me to like get you something quickly? And she's like smiling. And like, I just think she wants to be treated like a normal person, you know? Like, she's like,
Yes.
okay, I overcame this. And like, I would love it if like we kind of left that in the past in some ways, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Like she's not a bomb that's about to go
for
off.
sure. Yeah.
She's someone figuring it out.
Yeah.
And I think that's the grace we should give everyone going into this, but for ourselves especially. Like,
yeah.
we can't be perfect all the time. We can't, always know where our friends'
Yeah.
mental state is at.
For sure.
But what we can do is be there for one another, and definitely finding people that will be that for you as well
Yes.
as you be that for them.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, definitely.
yeah.
No,
Do you have
absolutely.
anything to
Yeah.
say?
No, I agree. I think community is really important, and also just people who've been through something understand it in a way that
Yeah.
other people might not be able to, even if they mean well. So
Yeah.
Yeah. And kind of what you were saying too, I think that's like brilliant that you were like, the thing you said about like the control, like she wants to know where her friends' heads are like all the time. And there's so much like love and care in that. Like she just, like she obviously really cares about these people, but it's like, it's so heavy on her heart, and it's such an impossible thing to know, like where your friends are at all times. Like that's like a huge stress, but it's like it comes from such a loving place. And also it's like she's 19 and like kind of just starting college. It's okay to like you're going through so much change, you know? Yeah, definitely.
I think part of what I was looking into is the way that her mother treats her ends up being a lot like the way she treats her friends.
Yes.
And
Oh my
then
gosh,
she ends up
yeah.
reflecting back and understanding her mother better and being like, oh, now I know why she was so panicked. Because when I was caring about people, she sort of falls into the same pattern. Because it's really easy to do, which is you're worried about people and you're not sure how much space to give them.
Yeah. And it's like her own it's like her own style of loving, even. Yeah, that's really interesting. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you guys were casting, how did you go about this?
A couple of ways. The wonderful Danielle Beckman helped me cast some of the roles as a casting director and acted in the film as well. She's an old friend, but also I just did direct approach to a lot of people and found them through their reels online on places
That's
like
fun.
Backstage. And just because I feel like I was looking for certain qualities, obviously, but I also I prefer to do direct outreach when I can, because I think it wastes actors' time to have 200 people read for a role when I could tell very quickly that a lot of them wouldn't be right. And so I thought it's more respectful of actors' time to try to find people who might be right and then ask them. And I found Laurel that way. So, yeah.
I remember that process well. It's fun.
What was your preparation going into, leaning into this character?
Yeah. So as I've kind of said, it was first of all reading the script, but also understanding where her head is at, within each scene, where her relationship is at.
Yeah.
Especially with film, you just aren't doing the scenes chronologically. So
Totally.
I was just mostly prepping for understanding what the context was before going into each scene, but also to get more into the headspace. Obviously, a lot of research went into that. Personal experience goes into that as well. Understanding that, as we've kind of touched on a little bit, but with depression, it's not just out and about, you can see it everywhere, when someone's depressed. And that was really important for me to find her nuance within that, not pity herself. She doesn't want to be pitied throughout that. Find the strength within that, and also just have a good time with her friends, but still deal with these things, and Rachel was really great in this process with like talking me through it and things before each scene, discovering new things, trying new things. But ultimately, I think my whole goal and how I prepped was just really like diving deep into like her thought process. And when she's deflecting or when she's, putting a wall up, and when she's kind of like projecting, but of course she's not thinking of it that way. So
Totally.
Yeah. Just discovering more nuance with that was fun.
Definitely. Yeah, and it's interesting too because it's like you can tell she doesn't want to be labeled for like this one experience that she's had, you know? Because it's like it's just interesting how that can happen when it's like people are so nuanced and there's so many different things. There's so much to her than just one experience, you know?
Yes.
And you can like see her frustration with that a little bit. Like she's like, okay, just because I went through this one thing, it's like all anyone wants to like talk about sometimes. And I could like sense that. Yeah,
and having to rebuild from the ground up essentially after coming back to college, hoping everything would be, the same and that she wouldn't have to think about what she went through again. But, through that she was able to build a whole new group of friends. And I think that's very awesome. Great character quality in her is that she's taking action throughout the film. Maybe not in always the healthy way, but definitely in a way it's allowing her to grow and rediscover new things about herself and other people that have also been through the same thing. And they're all very different characters too.
Yeah, they are really different.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're great characters.
Yeah,
they're all so
I think that's awesome because it's like everyone, even though they technically all went through similar experiences, they've built different walls, different tactics to get over it, different character growth and flaws. So I think that's interesting.
Yeah. What are both of your favorite movies? Like what kind of movies do you like?
Do you have one that comes to mind?
I know for this film I really liked Past Lives recently, and stylistically we were looking at some of the visual approach. So that one I love, but it also informed this film a little bit in terms of how we shot it.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Mine, why was the first thing I thought of was Spy with Melissa McCarthy.
It's a great movie.
It's a great movie, but like, it's like, would I say it's like my favorite movie? No, there's like Spirited Away was my favorite movie. I love like animated stuff, but Spy is great too.
Spy, I will say Laurel had to do some really go to some very dark places, and yet what I remember her on set doing is tap dancing between takes sometimes, like 'cause she would go to something really dark and then be like, I'm gonna lift myself up now. So it makes sense to me that she loves comedy.
I think that's the important part, because it's just like it's such a heavy space to be in, and it also it just like it lifts my spirits up, but also I can't just like be in that headspace throughout the whole film, because we were filming like 5 scenes a day sometimes.
It was a lot of patience.
But ultimately I find it's better to connect with people on set, whether that's through laughter or whatever, even through like dark scenes, because that makes me feel more comfortable, and everyone, like, we're all having a good time. And that's, I think, the important thing we have to remember is that filmmaking is fun, and we're doing this for a reason, so that was definitely nice that everyone was dealing with my major mood swings in the middle of those dark moments. But
yeah. Do you have any things that you would do when you got home to like reset for the next day, or like little like habits that really helped you kind of like?
Yeah. So actually Ben and I would go over lines for the next day.
Yeah.
And it's like such a small thing, but we do have a big connection in the film, obviously. So it was nice that we had that connection as friends too. And we're supporting each other even after filming, because we'd have a long day of filming, and then and then have to prepare for the morning the next day.
Yeah.
And even though he wasn't in like every scene, I always had to be there, you know, but he was very helpful in that process. And for me, like, I think connection and friendship, similar to May, does release some tension of the day. Just being able to be a person and just like go through lines and talk about life and things that we're stressed about, I think.
Yeah, that's really nice. And also it probably is what built your connection even closer on camera too, like that time, like that personal time.
Yeah, for sure. And that was definitely necessary for a lot of those scenes, which we were both very, very, I think open and honest about where our head was at, what we were comfortable with. And Rachel was very, very accommodating to that too. So that was extremely helpful, for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so where can everyone watch this movie and where can people follow your careers?
Oh gosh, so I'm on Instagram as Rachel B. Carey, but that will be where I'll be posting updates because this is our world premiere, so we don't yet have distribution. So,
exciting.
Yeah.
My @ is Laurel Toupal, and so people can follow my career on there. I obviously post things I'm in, also just fun videos in general. So I don't know how cringe that will be for some people, but if you want to follow my career, that would be the @ to go to on Instagram, TikTok. I can't think of any. YouTube, maybe not YouTube. I don't post on there, but
oh my gosh. Well, thank you guys for taking the time to sit with us and taking the time to chat. It was great.
So fun.
Yes, and
thank you.
And have so much fun this week. And
you too.
Thanks.